Hey friends, welcome back to Caesarea. This is part number 2. In this part we are going to visit the area of the two palaces, the Latrins and the Hippodrome. So right now I'm going down to the area of the palaces. King Herod the Great built two palaces, an upper one and a lower one. Some scholars believe that both palaces used to belong to King Herod the Great. Some scholars believe that the lower palace was used by King Herod the Great and the upper palace was used by the Roman governor when he used to visit the country. So right now I'm in the area of the upper palace, and I will stop next to a replica of one of two archaeological evidences of the existence of Pontius Pilate that were found in the Holy Land. One was found in the area of the theater of Caesarea, and the other one was found in Herodion, one of the fortresses that was built by King Herod the Great in the area of the Judean wilderness. So what does this replica say? It says Pontius Pilate, the prefect of Judea, a building dedicated to the Emperor Tiberius. Over here, friends, you can see the bedrock on which the lower palace was built. King Herod the Great was a psycho, but at the same time he was an amazing builder. He left his fingerprints all over the country. Some of his main projects were the Temple Mount, Herodium, Massara, Caesarea, and so on. He built his lower palace on the sea, and in the middle of the palace he had a swimming pool. So in the book of Acts chapter 10, we read about an important event that took place in Caesarea. It started in Jaffa and ended in Caesarea, and that's the baptism of Cornelius the centurion. He was the first Gentile to be baptized, and this is when Christianity stopped being a sect of Judaism and became a religion. So the second important event that took place in the city of Caesarea is also mentioned in the book of Acts chapter 23. That's when Paul was transferred after being arrested to Caesarea. So friends, this hall may be the place of hearing mentioned in the Acts of the Apostles. And from the harbor of Caesarea, Paul was sent to Rome, where he had his trial, and few years later he was executed. And the reason he did not have his trial in Jerusalem was because he was a Roman citizen. So these are the latrines of Caesarea by the sea, the bathroom of Caesarea. From the location we understand that it was built later, because we are right now at the entrance to the Hippodrome. So probably these latrines were built during the Byzantine period, when we stopped using the Hippodrome for horse races and we stopped using the area of the palaces as palaces. The area was transformed into private dwellings, and we had even a church in the middle. So the corner is the most important place in the Hippodrome, and the reason is this is where the clashes, where the blood used to take place. The gladiators used to pray in this room before racing to death. Archaeological evidence can tell us that the Hippodrome of Caesarea was sometimes dismantled and turned into an amphitheater. And when people used to miss horse races, they used to dismantle the amphitheater and turn it back into a hippodrome. So which types of theaters existed back in the Roman Empire? We had the theater, we had the amphitheater, we had the hippodrome, like the one we are standing in right now. We had a stadium, and we had an Odeon. All of them looked almost the same, but had different purposes. So the 1st century AD is when the Great Revolt started, when the Jews had a revolt against the Romans. It began in the city of Caesarea. So when the Jews were captured, some of them were taken as slaves, some of them were brought into amphitheaters and hippodromes and slaughtered in front of public. And the reason the Roman did so is to show people what will happen to them if they will mess with the Romans. Folks, that was it for the second part of the city of Caesarea. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Stay tuned, more content will be uploaded soon. Take care.